red states, man, they are putting a stop to this whole transitioning children thing, and Democrats have completely lost their minds. The media likes to call it what? Gender affirming care. We used to call this stuff sex changes, right? Back in the day. But now since, you know, they want to gear towards children, they want to call it gender affirming care because it sounds better, right?
Right.
The way that it sounds, but it's the same thing essentially. Well, Nebraska now is the newest state to actually put a stop to this. And this Democrat senator lost her mind. This is an epic rant. I'm pretty sure you haven't seen this yet, but we got the video, man. We got the video. Look at this. Democratic Nebraska senator who used 3-week filibuster to delay Republican bill banning gender surgery for minors flips out screaming, "We need trans people," as measure finally passes. Now, Rhodes, that is the words right there.
Okay.
This video is like 2 minutes long, and her name is Michaela Kavanaugh. No relation to Brett Kavanaugh, by the way. I mean, she just went, Rhodes, when I tell you she went nuts, she went nuts. I mean, this is just crazy. Now, also, if I'm not mistaken, I believe also that that they also have like a 12-week abortion ban, if I'm not mistaken. But look at this. The measure that passed bans gender-altering surgery and places restrictions on hormone therapy for transgender people under 19, as well as banning abortions after 12 weeks. Okay, so that is right there. The two issues were combined into a single bill. Huh. You need to see this this absolute meltdown, Rhodes.
Yeah, let's watch it.
Okay, let's go ahead and do it.
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. That's what they're saying out there. They're standing in a circle in the rotunda saying that over and over again.
Okay, I'm going to give you some context here. She starts off calm, and it gets worse as it goes on.
What's wrong with her?
Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. Trans people belong here. We need trans people. We love trans people. You matter. You matter. And I am fighting for you. And I will not stop. I will not stop today. I will not stop tomorrow. You are loved. You matter. You belong here.
Wow. So, Rhodes. Now, the bill is not stopping any adults from doing what they want to do.
What just happened?
I knew you were going to be stunned, man. Go ahead. The floor is yours.
I don't know if I got anything to say right now. I mean, how do you follow that? That woman's crazier than a shithouse rat.
That was nuts.
That's crazy as hell. That is crazy as hell. Wow. I mean, look. We seriously got to take a look at some mental health in this country. I know I ain't supposed to say that. I know it. But there it is. Something is wrong with that. That cannot be considered lucid and sane, for crying out loud. We think that's normal? Is that normal behavior? Is that how somebody should act that is in office of some kind?
She's supposed to be a lawmaker, and
oh, that's frightening. I mean, that's
some people elected
frightening.
her.
Yeah,
that's terrifying right there that they elected her. I don't think I've seen a meltdown like that since the girl in the green jacket screaming when Trump was actually taking his oath of office.
Somebody said it in the comment section. Let me find it. Bart 1979. White liberal women is the death of Western society. I think that's a pretty right nail on the head kind of sentence right there.
Yeah.
And let's be real. That's primarily the biggest haters of Donald Trump too. Funny how that is. Let's be real. That is primarily the biggest haters of, like, lunatic haters of Donald Trump.
Yeah. Why is it that these people have such a huge problem, man? They don't want to wait for kids to actually grow up and become adults before doing something that they actually may regret. She melted down over that because the bill says kids under 19. It's not stopping people, 20, 21, 22. It's not stopping anybody from doing what you want to do after that.
In other words, it's not stopping people with, a more mature level of thinking, a more, I would assume, lucid way of thinking, but I don't know at this point. It's hard to follow that. I don't often not have a rant, but when the video is a crazy-ass rant on its own, that's one of the craziest videos we have ever seen since we started doing this.
Yeah.
Since we started doing any, I mean, outside of, like, burning buildings and them being called peaceful, that's the next thing on the list that has dropped my jaw. That is astonishingly crazy.
I mean, there's a whole bunch of things in my life that I can say when I was 20, 21 years old that I probably wasn't mature enough at all to comprehend and understand.
No.
I mean, right now I'm 45, going to be 46 here in a couple of months. I'm way, way, way more mature now than when I was actually 30.
Oh, 30? I mean, let's take it back. I'm fearful of myself, 25 and younger. Okay, let's just put it that way. I mean, just making decisions that, I could look back and just punch myself in the face over because I'm like, what were you thinking, you dumb shit?
There's been people out there that's gotten tattoos and they later on regretted it and they get it covered up.
Oh, yeah, of course. Absolutely.
And that's pretty minor, to altering your sets. That's way different.
To quote Bugs Bunny, I think a lot of us, like before the age of 25, is like, damn, we should have took that other turn trying to get to Albuquerque, not the turn we took back then, things would have been a lot easier on us. And you had an advantage from the fact that you at least had the wherewithal to join the military, which I think helped rein some of that in, right? And give
the Marines were trying to recruit me when I was in high school. I shut them down. I was like 16, 17. They would come to the house. I was like, nah, I think I'm good. It wasn't until I was 22 years old that I decided to actually join the Navy. And trust me, as soon as you step foot at boot camp, you're like, what the hell did I just do? I think I just made the biggest mistake of my life.
Yeah. If I had not went to work in the corporate world at 24, there's no telling how badly my life would have turned out, because that was a very militaristic-like environment, very straight and narrow, very cross the T's, dot the I's. You better have your game face on every day. Plus, I somewhere along the line, the first year, decided, you know what? I want to work my way up, and I did, all the way up the food chain. And it got even worse as I kept going up the food chain. I got more and more narrow. Maybe these people lack some kind of structure. I mean, my folks were very, very conservative and very, well, I'm just going to keep it real. My folks weren't afraid to whip my ass if I got out of line. I mean.
That was our generation, Rhodes. That was our generation. I'm going to tell you this. When I left high school, I'm still going to say this. I know that I'm down on colleges right now, but going to college actually let me experience life at 18. I was actually able to go out there and make mistakes in the real world. I didn't have, parents at college, telling me, hey, do this, don't do that. I actually had to get up and go to class. Mom wasn't waking you up to go to school. You were on your own.
Yeah.
So I did learn a lot from a life standpoint by going to college, because you have to do for yourself because nobody else is going to do it for you. You have to grow up.